Hello everyone and welcome to another Pokemon Trader Card Game live video. My name is Jamie and today I'll be taking you through another deck which featured at this year's 2025 Pokemon World Championships. Just before we do go into the video though, if you do like some content and you want to see some more content related to the Pokemon Trader Card Game, then as always be sure to hit that subscribe button and of course like this video. So we looked at the top two decks, the top two placing decks. Let's have a look at this one. This was the third place deck. This is a Raging Bolt, so another concept which we kind of expected to feature over the course of the weekend, so no surprise there. It does have some very interesting text there, so we'll have a look at that as well. So Raging Bolt, EX, 240 damage, an ancient Pokemon. Its first attack, Burst Roar, is relevant as a colorless energy for it, and yeah, we can draw it. We have 6 cards in our hand, so that's pretty good. Just to keep that in mind if we are not able to attack one turn, which we want to maximize just drawing cards basically. Drawing we have 6 cards, and we can also use that. But it's this attack here, Bellowing Thunder, that we want to be utilizing here for a lightning and a fighting energy there. 70 damage times the number of or energy cards that you discard from all of your Pokemon. So the idea is we stack loads of energy onto all of our Pokemon, and then we use Bellowing Thunder and try and get those big knockouts, those big one-shots. So the idea of this deck is to be able to one-shot things, even if it's a stage 2 and it's got like 330, 340 HP, we should be trying to one-shot them, so that's the idea. Also worth noting that we do run Latias as well, but it does have a retreat cost of 3 if Latias isn't in play, so do keep that in mind. But that's the idea of the deck. Let's have a look at other Pokemon that kind of best pair well with it. So again, we want to be attaching lots of energy to our Pokemon. So Teal Mask Ogerpon, of course, is the play here. So Teal Dance, we can attach a basic grass energy to this Pokemon, and we can then draw a single card, so that's pretty good. It does also have this attack here as well, which is worth keeping in mind. We could also use it from time to time, especially if we are running against a deck that is weak to grass. So a lot of the dark decks that featured to counter Gardevoir, basically, so the things like Charizard, for instance, things like Grimmsnarl, all those types of decks, they're all weak to grass. So perhaps Ogerpon could be a play there. It's very easy to power up as well. So we do run things like Crispin in the deck, and you can also use Teal Dance, attach manually as well, so there are ways of being able to power up this attack. So, but yeah, it's just predominantly used for its ability there to attach energy. Doesn't count as your attachment for the turn either, so we can also attach an energy after using Teal Dance. It doesn't also stack as well, so if we have multiple Ogerpons, so we can also just keep using Teal Dance as many times as we have Ogerpons. So that's the idea. Pair that with Bellowing Thunder, and then we can get those big one-shots. So what the Pokemon we have in the deck, so it runs predominantly a Noctowl engine in there as well. So Dual Seeker, so once during your turn, when you evolve your Hoot Hoot into Noctowl, you play this card from your hand, then we can search for any 2 trainer cards from our deck. So we can get sports cards, we can get item cards, we can get stadium cards, so really, really good card. So, of course, it does, also you do need a Terra Pokemon in play, so do keep that in mind as well. Don't drop it when you don't have a Terra Pokemon in play. Your Terra Pokemon in the deck is, of course, your Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. So that is that. So that's the engine. We also have, of course, Fan Rotom as well. Fan Call. So predominantly for your first turn, we can also search out our Hoot Hoot line and get some Noctowl for the following turn as well, so that works. Of course, we can also search out as well Ditto. Ditto's pretty cool. Has a transformative start. Yeah, and if it's just in the active spot, we can change it basically for another basic Pokemon in our deck. So we can get a Raging Bolt, we can get Teal Mask Ogerpon, various different options there as well. Even a Latias, and then just retreat it if we want to. So that is also worth keeping in mind. And that is, of course, is searchable with Fan Rotom as well, with Fan Call. So, other Pokemon in the deck, of course, Latias, we spoke about that. Skyliner for its ability to give our Pokemon free retreat, because they're all basic Pokemon. Also got a Koraidon in there as well, so predominantly for its first attack here, 30 plus. And we can also get up to another 150, there's 180 as well. Certainly get some numbers with that and do some damage. And of course, we've got the baby Raging Bolt, I suppose you can say, for 130 damage as well. Also really good if anyone's playing any kind of decks like Crustle, for example, kind of any anti-meta decks, then you definitely want to counter for it, so you can use Raging Bolt for that. And it's kind of the idea. But yeah, and it does also have Thunderburst Storm as well. You can also do some damage on the bench and maybe set up some plays that way if you want to. So that's what you can do with that. So other Pokemon in the deck, really interesting inclusion here, Chien-Pao. Not Chien-Pao EX, just Chien-Pao, this one. So has this ability, Snow Sink. So when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you can discard a stadium card in play. So why is that good? Well, actually we run Area 0, as we'll soon find out. So what we can do is we can bench loads of things, especially early game as well. So you've got things like Noctowls on there, so another card you play, which is really good for turn 1. Squawkabilly, so that's just going to be sitting on your bench doing nothing, basically. So the idea of Chien-Pao is just to hit that Chien-Pao, use Snow Sink, and ditch a Pokemon that you're not going to be using anymore. That's kind of like just dead wood, basically. So that's the idea. So things like Squawkabillies, things like Fanrotoms, things like Noctowls, for instance, that's the idea behind it. But if you also have some Pokemon there with a bit of damage as well, so for instance, let's say your Raging Bolt is like short of just getting knocked out by like 30 damage or something like that, you can also use Chien-Pao, knock it off, and that just prevents your opponent from taking more prize cards. So that's kind of the idea behind that. And of course, the final card here, the final Pokemon card here, is Serendipity X or Flip the Script, so pretty self-explanatory with that. So that is the Pokemon line. Let's move on to trainers. So a few of these I've already discussed already. Ultra Balls, Earthen Vessels. We do need a lot of Earthen Vessels in this deck because we need to search out energy, grass energy in particular, to get those teal dances off. 3 Area 0 under depth, so we want to maximize our bench space when we have a Terra Pokemon in play. Of course, that Terra Pokemon is our Ogerpon. So we've got that. 1 Energy Switch, pretty useful as well. So we can also utilize Energy Switch and kind of move energy around if we want to. And especially because our attack here, Bellowing Thunder here, there's a lightning and a fighting energy. So we need to be able to make sure we're able to hit that more or less every single turn. So there are a couple of ways that we can do that. Of course, if we do have an energy switch as well, we've got a fighting energy somewhere, we can move it around. Makes it a little bit more versatile. But other ways, of course, you've got 1 Crispin in there. This will help you power up a Raging Bolt in a single turn, and of course things like Professor Sada's as well. So if you've got 2, let's say you've got 2, I don't know, Raging Bolts in play, what you can do is attach to both of them. You can attach 1 Fighting, 1 Lightning, and then energy switch the energy onto the active spot. That's also what you can do. Other things in the deck, pretty self-explanatory. 1 Iono, so very good for late game, disrupting your opponent. Also a way of drawing, and of course Professor Tauros as well. If there is something on the bench that you want to pick up just to prevent your opponent from taking more prize cards, or it can even just be used as a way of just, I don't know, just playing a little bit more strategically if you want, switching your Pokemon. So yeah, if you want to retreat your Pokemon, something like that, that could work. Night Stretcher, pretty self-explanatory there. Nestball, 2 bosses as well. A spec of choice is Prime Catcher. So we want to be trying to, I really feel with this deck, you want to try and close the game out as quickly as possible. So things like bosses, for instance, things like Prime Catcher, what we can do is just like pick off things off the bench, Serendipity, Squawkabillies, Muse, for example, all those types of things we can get very cheap knockouts and win the game very quickly. So this is a very, very aggressive deck, normally one that you want to be going second with, if possible, as you are able to attack turn 1, you can use a support card for the turn as well. Energy line looks a little bit like this: 3 Fighting, 3 Lightning, and 5 Grass there, just to utilize our Teal Dance here, just to make sure we're drawing more cards. So yeah, very, very aggressive deck. A deck I do like a lot as well. And I found in testing as well, having played this, is like sometimes you have more options than you know what to do with. So, but anyway, that's the theory behind the deck. That's the deck list. Of course, I'll leave it in the description box below. You can go check it out as well. But let's go play a game with it and see how it plays out in practice. Okay, let's see if they call it right or not. We can choose. Do you want to first? No, we do not, because then we can utilize things like support cards. We can attack. So even if we don't get the coin flip, it's very possible that our opponent will choose to go. Let's do that. It's very possible that our opponent will choose to go first anyway, because most decks do rely on evolutions. So, okay, we've got Research, Evolution, Dark Energy, Charizard maybe. I saw some rare candidates in there. Could be Grimmsnarl as well. It's also another option. So Dark Energy. 2 cards for the mulligan. Look at that. All right, not bad. Markidori, okay. So we've got a lot of options here. We've got a lot of options of what we can do here. So we can Vessel, Ultra Ball, Sada's a 2. Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential here for this opening hand. Sada's, we want to try and maximize getting. So if we attach for the turn, we then Vessel something away. Yeah, the idea here would be to use Sada's here and attach an energy to both our Raging Bolts here. That's what we ideally want. Oh, okay. Rolts with dark. Oh, okay. Maybe this is just for the Dark Sister and Monkey Dory. Maybe it's just Gardy. She probably is Gardy. Oh, he definitely is Gardy. His Rolts. So yes, and Psychic Energy. So okay, interesting. Interesting. Cool. All right. Ultra Ball. Okay, right. So we want to attach for the turn. So we need to get 2 there. Do we? This one is Tauros. Sorry, wait. This is what am I doing? This is Earthen Vessel, right? So yeah, Earthen Vessel. Let's just get rid of Tauros for now. Cool. Let's get a so we can ditch those 2 with Ultra Ball. Nice. Cool. And with that, we can get ourselves a Raging Bolt. There we go. So then we can Sardas. Put the fighting on the active, this on the bench. Draw 3. Cool, Fan Rotom. Nice, not bad. Yeah, let's Fan Rotom. Let's get ourselves... cool, good setup. I like it. Let's get ourselves a Hoot Hoot. Yes, 2 Hoot Hoots and a Noctowl. 2, cool. And then we're going to have to Ultra Ball here. The Ditto, we don't need that. What do we get rid of here? Probably Sardas, but I don't really want... We do have an energy on the bench there, so we don't probably need Sardas that much for the following turn. So we'll do that. Cool. We have a bit of security with the... there we go, cool. Yeah, nice. Yeah, we've got a Noctowl in hand, so as long as we don't get Iono'd there, we can actually just use Noctowl the following turn. Let's Teal Dance. And ideally, we can even get Area 0 as well if we need to get... okay, nice. So yeah, if we need to get just how about a Thunder? I think we'll get rid of the fighting here, just to... yeah, and then if we have to get it back, we can also put it on the bench one as well, and that's fine. Cool, and we'll get rid of this one here. So cool, nice. And we've got the knockout on the Monkey Dory, which is very good. Yeah, even if we need to get our Latias out as well. Oh, okay. That was another play I was thinking of, going for the Squawkabilly, but it was prized, so I'm glad I didn't. Cool, let's have a look what is there. Yeah, fighting, cool, cool. We can also stick we can also just put the grass onto the Raging Bot on the bench as well. And we can also utilize that. Just utilize the fact that it's got an engine onto it, and then we can just use that as damage as well. Is that a Curlier on the benches? Did they evolve that this turn? I missed that. Earthen Vessel, cool. So they've used Research, which means they can't manipulate our hand, which is very nice. So that means anything that goes on the bench there that they're going to try and set up in the back row, or on the back row, we can try and bring that up and knock it out. That's the idea. So that does mean, though, that we need a... There's an Nippity, cool. That'll be pretty useful later on. So it does mean that we do need a fighting energy, though, so we might have to get... yeah, I can Noctowl for another Vessel, maybe. That could work. Or, yeah, we get another Vessel. Oh, we should get a Sardas, actually. We should get a Professor Sardas. That would make more sense, right? What is that on the bench? I can't even see what that is. Oh, Fluttermane. Okay. Cool. Gardy is out. Earthen Vessel, not bad, not bad. Cool, right. So can we get the knockout this turn? So 3, 6, 9, 3, 6. 3, 6, 7, 14, 21. Let's just Teal Dance. Iono. Okay, well let's just do that because we don't need Squawkabilly. That is dead as far as I'm concerned. Cool, let's get to... Oh, I don't know what fighting in there. What is in discard? Do we have, I think, some of the fighting in there as well? Yes. Go back. Yes, we get a grass there. Cool. All right, so we can attack. So 7, 4, 228. 28. Oof. A little bit short here. Bosses. What is going to get us that extra energy there? So I think I've got it. I think I know. I think I know what we're going to do. So we are going to Jewel Seeker. Yes, we do want to use Jewel Seeker. We are going to get ourselves... Oh, we can actually Counter Catcher as well. That would mean we don't have to play it, but you know what? So if we get those two, and we have the energy in hand, let's go back. Double check our Pokemon. Did I see another... Where is it? Yep, cool. All right, let's just go with this. And we have a support card in hand for the following turn as well. So it's Area 0 there. Let's Nest Ball. Let's get ourselves out another Pokemon. Let's use Teal Dance. Raging Bolt. Cool. Okay. 7, 14, 20, 20, 35. All right. Well, this is a pretty big knockout here. I think we kind of need to take it as well. So we're going to do it. Problem is we don't have much energy for the following turn, but we can use Stardust or something like that, get around that some way. 7, 14, 21, 28, and the final energy for the knockout. There we go. What do we draw from prizes? Let's have a look. Cool. Fighting. So at the very least, what we can do, if we don't draw anything, we can also use Bellowing Thunder as well. If we get a anything like an Ultra Ball, to be honest, that will get us Noctowl. That will get us Professor Sardas. And also, not forgetting here as well, something also that's also quite important to note, is the prize map as well. So we are 3 prizes. That is only 1 EX we need to knock out. The other 2 we can... okay, Clefairy, yeah. It's another thing with this deck as well, and also be careful for that as well. But yeah, in terms of the prize map, something also we want to be thinking about is that, yes, we do only need 1 EX, and we can knock out a non-EX as well. That would also work. So, Fluttermane's there. That Rolts if it stays there. If they try and evolve this turn, actually they need another Rolts. They need another Rolts down, so Ultra Ball. Okay. I'm pretty sure I saw Rare Candy as well when they at the beginning of the game when they tried to mulligan, or when they had a mulligan. So that means they do have access to a Guardi potentially this turn. I'll just do a double check for us. Energy as well. 3 energy, cool. Good to know. So it's pretty big actually. This turn is very, very big. I would guess that I'm not sure we can actually get a knockout, another 350 the following turn, because we've got 3 grass in there, unless we get energy retrieval, which we have not used. That would work. Energy retrieval, so 1, 2. Sardas. Okay, so attachment, Sardas, energy retrieval. That would be another 330. But is that pushing it? I think it is. I think that's asking for a lot. Considering we don't have any way of drawing more cards as well, so because with the energy retrieval would get secret box. Okay, probably would have to assume here they have access to Guardi here. Let's see, but yeah, so 2 Teal Dances there, an attachment and a Sardas. That would be 330. That would be a knockout. 330, 350. That would be a knockout. Let's see. Yeah, with Secret Box, you'd have to assume that they have the knockout here. But that said, we're not... that will put them down to 4 prizes. We need 2 turns to win, basically. 2 turns. That's what we need. Cool. Oh, okay. I'm sure I saw a Rare Candy there. Unless they don't play a Rare Candy. Maybe they don't play Rare Candy, but I thought I saw a Rare Candy. Unless they've just got it in hand, I don't know. Cool. Right, this is the benefit of that is we just drop could drop Fan Rotom. Just thinking to drop Noctowl as well. Yeah, let's drop Noctowl. I think that'll be the better option. Only because if we draw Night Structure as well, we can just get it back and then put the Noctowl down. Cool. I just saw my clock ticking down there. I just saw my clock. Oh, it's not even my turn. Why is my clock ticking down? I don't know. Cool. Artisan, another rocks. Cool. That's fine. I'm all good with that. I'm all good with that. Because here just means that we need. We can burst roars. I thought that I saw a rare candy. Thought I did. Yeah. Cool, they've got 369 systems. Okay, they can't get a knockout. They would need here a Monkey Dory with engine. Even that's not a knockout. Even that's not a knockout, so. I don't know. Interesting. Okay. I don't know if that's good or bad at this point. Okay, we got the Ultra Ball. Okay, Night Stretcher. Let's see. So that's actually pretty good because Ultra Ball now we can get the. Okay, I think. All right. That gives us access to Knockdown, and then we can just go from there. Really. Let's see. Right, so they've got Knockdown. They've got Knockout anyway because they've got Clefairy on the bench. I was just thinking that that's not a knockout because they would need a Monkey Dory. It's not because they've got Clefairy on the bench. So, cool. Range and Molt active. That's good. We've got another bench space as well. That's also a good thing. Lightning Energy, cool. All right, that's gets him down that way. So, does that hit in numbers 7, 14, 20, 28? So. 128. So we still need the 5 energy. I think it's going to be a push here, but let's see. Okay, knocked out. Let's just have a look. What would we need from here? We can get Crispin. Okay, we need Sardas. Or we could also, if we got the. Alright, we'll just get knocked out for the moment. Jewel Seeker, yes. Alright, so we need Sardas, and we need here a Nest Ball there to draw 3 cards. Or we Nest Ball for Fezandipity as well, that's also another option, but I think this is going to be the best play here. Let's. Okay, let's stick that there. Stick that there. Nice. I was just actually thinking to myself, if we get an energy retrieval, that would also be a potential option, and we have. Look at that. What a top deck. Look at that. I think there's a bit of a glitch here. Like every time I try and use Teal Dance, just drag it on there. Look, it doesn't actually drag. Nice. So we've got Area 0 as well. Perfect. That was a great turn. Look at that. That was a great turn. And we'll just finish it off with Fezandipity there, just to flip the script and draw some cards. What a turn that was. Cool. Sardas in turn, and if we get all right. Just thinking here. Yeah. Okay, we'll just do that. Cool. All right, Teal Dance. Final Teal Dance, just to try and take the pressure off a little bit for the next turn. Bosses. Look at that. Counter catcher bosses. We've got a game. If they don't Iono us, we've got a game the next turn. Right. We have to assume this is going to go down. Right. That's the thing. So we need to assume this is going to get knocked out. If not, then we've also got Latias on the bench. We can also retreat that. So there we go. We want to really try... Yeah. So yeah, putting that last Ogerpon down, that was a sensible thing to do, because now we've got the energy on the Raging Bolt, which means... Look at that. Which means that, yeah, next turn we just need the Sadas. And we can just knock out something on the bench, and that would be a game there. And we've got Night Stretcher in there. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. So we would need to assume at this point, I don't know if they have Rare Candy, into any more Rare Candy, I don't know. But we would need to assume at this point that this Raging Bolt's going down, so we need to follow up with the other Raging Bolt the next turn. We've got bosses in hand, we've got Counter Catcher, Prime Catcher even, and we've also got Fezzinipid on the bench as well, so even if it does go down, we can draw 3. Hopefully that will be enough just to close out this game. So, okay, well, they just conceded. Okay, nice. I think that came down to predominantly if they had Iono, that probably would have made a huge difference there, because we could have also Ionoed us back and we would have drawn, I think, 2 cards. We had 2 prizes left. So that would have been the thing. But either way, really, really strong deck, very, very aggressive. And as you can see, you can just one-shot anything in the format as well. So, yeah, just with energy retrieval, just with the Ogerpons, just with Sadas and things like that. Really, really strong deck. But you let me know what you think. I'll leave the list in the description box below, as always, if you guys want to check it out, and let me know what you think. But, yeah, if you do like this type of content and you want to see some more content related to the Pokemon Trading Card game, then as always, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And, of course, like this video. That would be great. Otherwise, guys, there you pretty much have it. Thank you very much for watching, and see you all in the next one.